Hello YouTube, Drew the Shed. We're back in the shed, baby. So, it's been a while since I filmed a video here in the shed and sitting here on my stool, getting all nostalgic. Smoking my... Alright, so I'm probably the last person to get one of these on the YTPC, but it is my Morgan Bones egg. And in it I am smoking some Peter Stokkebye's Norwegian Blend. Now, you're going to go, Drew, if many of you are observant, you're going to go, Drew, that's a sandblasted pipe. It's not smooth. Why aren't you smoking in English in it? Simple. This pipe does not have a very good chamber diameter for English. It is a more narrow chamber diameter. And I have found generally that the narrower chamber diameters, they don't accentuate English blends. So I've decided to make this my rusticated stroke sandblasted pipe that does non-English blends. So what am I talking about this week? Well, this past week at work was rather stressful. And if I could pick one sentence that described the previous week at work, that would be a lack of planning and or training on your part does not denote an emergency on my part. Now, you might be going, Drew, this is just going to be a complaining video. You're going to be ranting and raving about your week. And I don't want to watch that. I don't come to your channel to hear you complain. Well, it's not going to be a complaining video. You are lucky on that end, because I've done my share of complaining to, God bless her, my wonderful wife. And it's at this point where I reflect and go, you know, how can I use that information of my past week and relate it to how I relate to others and a lesson in my life. Notice the sticker on the Nalgene. Does not only apply to others that approach me, but myself as well. So, how does the phrase lack of planning and training on your part does not denote an emergency on my part, how can I use that as a lesson in my life? Well, one, very easily, see, one needs to have things planned out in order to not create emergencies for themselves. Very simply, be prepared. If you have a project going on, delve into it in depth before you get started find out what you need and get that well before it becomes dire. And yes, I know there are certain circumstances where that is not always possible. But in the most part, it is. At least in my line of work. I work in industrial sales and work with a lot of construction workers and factory workers where they know the project's coming up. They know, or at least should know, their inventory levels and can plan accordingly. So one does not, or should not, let's take for instance something very simply that we all know. Change the oil in your car without first acquiring the new oil to go in. You do something like that and not get the oil before you start changing the oil on your vehicle, yeah, you're gonna rightly look like an idiot. So, first part of it, plan accordingly. Secondly, it involves when things do not go to plan. So, let's say again, you're making dinner and you're making mac and cheese. Let's say mac and cheese. Pretty easy dish. Well, you get making mac and cheese and the phone rings. Answer your phone and it's a friend you haven't talked to in a very long time. And you get to talking and macaroni's boiling in the water and boiling in the water. And before you know it, you smell smoke. Now, if you're smelling smoke and you're boiling pasta, yeah, that's really not according to plan. And you say to your friend, "Oh no, my pasta, it's a burning." Now, do you get mad at your friend for talking to you and for you enjoying the conversation and enjoying your life? And you just got talking too long and all of a sudden your pasta's burning because you boiled out your water in the pan and there's no water in the pan left, you're burning pasta. Do you get mad at them and you say, "You dirty so-and-so, how dare you call me? How dare you make me burn my dinner because you wanted to talk to me and you wanted to share our friendship. How dare you do that? How dare you?" Or do you laugh about it? And I know some things aren't easy to laugh about. I get that. There's unplanned things that are very tragic, that are hard to laugh about. But we have to realize it in the grand scheme of things that we will move on from them. And even if our lack of planning or a situation that we could not avoid or could not have planned for causes us distress in the short term, We can't simply yell at somebody else about it and make it their problem and bring our dismay and misery onto them. We must react in a way that is becoming of a person that understands others and understands themselves. And understands that things happen. Unplanned things do happen. So with that, my friends, I want you to remember that 1, plan ahead, and 2, the unplanned things, it's about how we react to them. So with that, I want you to have a wonderful week. And until I see you again, be kind and good to each other.